going to record for whoever cannot get on today. It's Thursday, October 15th we are doing our first daytime call, so I'm really excited. I think that at least we won't be falling asleep, and hopefully my computer and internet will not be going in and out because there are not as many people online. So thank you guys for getting on. I really appreciate your time. Today we have a few business topics to talk about, and then I have something that I wanted to talk a little bit about. So I hope you guys have a piece of paper and a pen handy because we will need it later. So just by starting off, we all know what the specials are: 21-day fix, extreme, body beast for 140. Again, there's lots of different ways to word it, especially now getting towards the middle end of the month. You can definitely, if you are open to maybe rebating people $10, you can say that if they buy Shakeology, they get the program for free, and then you rebate them the $10. Sometimes I do, if you sign up most of the time I'll do like something that says if you sign up as a coach, I'll give you, rebate you $10. So those are just different ways you can word things. And we have lots of great pictures or images that if you need that to share, just let me know and I can send you some of those images. I'm still posting about the fall into fitness because you know how our group is kind of ongoing anyways. So, I'm always just like, it's not too late to join us. Probably come next week, we can start coming up with our name for a November group and kind of change the picture and wording up for the, last week of the month. I'll get on that for next week. So the free challenge is crazy. There's so many people in it and so many people that are like sharing in it, so it was really good to kind of change it up and do something different. I've got a lot of new people. I added a lot of new people out of it, so I hope you guys added some new people from it. Something to keep in mind, like now that we're about halfway through the group, start messaging them and just ask them how they like the group. I typically am just like, hey, how are you liking the running group, or whatever the name of the group is. And then as we start a conversation, I ask them if they do anything in addition to like running, for example. Do you do anything else in addition to running? And then kind of just start forming them and getting to know them. And then, I also put out there, I am a Beachbody coach. So if you are interested in hearing more about what I do, I'd love to help you. And then kind of just leave it at that. And then sometimes people have more questions and sometimes they don't. I feel like, we've given them a free group, so it's not a bother for you to introduce yourself as to what you do. It's okay to say, hey, if you haven't noticed, this is what I do. And if you ever have any questions about what I do or any of my programs, something you can do in addition to running or Shakeology you could add to your running, please don't hesitate to let me know. So that's what I start to typically do between now and the end of the group. So like I said, if you haven't noticed, the benefits of the free challenge is for us to add new faces and new people. So hopefully you get however many people out of it. That's the benefit. And then they start watching you over the next 2 and 3 months. They'll keep joining your free groups. And then from there, they'll see your posts and start asking questions. I heard one time that sometimes it takes a new friend or somebody that doesn't know you, there's a good 2 to 3 month lag time from the time you first friend them or meet them to when they actually reach out and contact you, which kind of makes sense for the most part because not everybody can trust somebody right away, One thing, if you don't mind and you remember, if you are doing posts, I'm trying to pin the posts to the top. So all you have to do is unpin whatever current post it is and then pin your post when it's your time to schedule. Because there's so many posts, it's moving so quickly that people aren't necessarily seeing our posts probably. So if you could just pin it to the top, if you remember. I've been going in and trying to do it too whenever I think about it. I don't think you can Hootsuite that. So if you're using Hootsuite, and you forget to go in, no big deal. But if you happen to be like, oh, I did something on Hootsuite an hour ago, let me go back in and just pin it, just so more people can see it and see you. Um, so I messaged about the t-shirts. I haven't heard back from him, but those are in the process of being ordered. So that's just to let you know. We were talking about wear and share and the t-shirts, and whatever you have, even if you don't have too much yet, walk around with your shaker cup that came with your program. Like I always have that. That's my water cup. I'll drink that all the time. I don't even put Shakeology in it, actually. I just drink water out of it all the time. When you're packing lunch to go somewhere, use your 21-day fixed containers. I know, Catherine, somebody saw those and asked her about them. People are going to start, when they see people ask, like I have a Shakeology hat. Every time I wear it, not every time, but a lot of times I wear it, somebody asks me about that. This sweatshirt, I always get, hey, did you do Insanity Max? So it starts conversation, a lot of conversation. And at that point, ask them, hey, are you on Facebook? I can add you to Facebook if you want to see more about what I do, or if you're ever interested, you can check it out. I do have business cards. I don't always hand them out because I try and get people added onto my network. Because if you're like, I think of myself when somebody gives me a business card, I kind of just put it to the side and rarely do anything with it. But if you feel like you need to get a business card, I got mine off of whatever there's a really cheap, I can tell you where I got it. It's really inexpensive, Vistaprint. And I put some images out of Beachbody and put my name and contact information. But I always, even when I give it to them, I'm like, friend me on Facebook, because that's where I do a lot of my business. This Saturday is Super Saturday. If anybody is going or can make it locally, there's one in Springfield. We are going out of town. Cross our fingers unless something happens to my husband's grandmother. So we cannot go, but if anybody wants to go, I'm happy to share that information with you. It's a great, great motivational, great training, fun workout at the end. If you're not local, I can help you find one that's local to you. It's a great thing to bring friends to. They'll talk about, actually what they'll probably have, they have a Beachbody video, so they're going to share the new Shakeology flavor. And it looks like Tony Horton has a new program coming out too. 22-minute hardcore trainer or something like that. So that kind of stuff will be talked about as well. But we'll get that information if you don't go. Hopefully, next one around locally, we can get a group of people to go. They're every quarter. So the next one will be in January. So the next thing we have coming up is Sneak Peek. It is October 26th. It's 3 days. That is something you want to start inviting people to. It's 3 days, gives people perspective of our team, what coaching is all about. If you haven't been in a sneak peek, so that way you know what to share with them. So anybody that's asked you about coaching, anybody who you just want to find a reason to talk to them or invite them, hey, I just started doing this, really would love to share it with you, great way to make some extra money, would you be interested in joining us? So sneak peek is it's 3 days, like I said. Make a list of who to invite. Start, sending out messages to people. You can add anybody. Once I get it opened up, I'll add you guys. You add anybody you think that says yes, they'd be interested in checking it out. If you have not done a testimonial, if you can do one for me, it could be video or a written testimonial, but anything about Beachbody, how Beachbody has changed your life, how you just started at a coach and you're really excited about getting started with it, whatever you can do. It'd be great if you we can add that to the testimonials, because the more stories people have to relate to, the better. So if you have questions about Sneak Peek, let me know. But it's a great opportunity to give people all the information we have about coaching and get them excited about our team and hopefully get them to sign up as coaches under you. And then we hope to start with all those coaches we're going to add in the next 2 weeks. And at Sneak Peek, hopefully going to start a new coach training November 2nd or the beginning of November. We'll touch base and see how everybody's doing. Right now, I'm still adding people to like the September one, and I just tell them to scroll from the beginning and go up. But hopefully I'd like to start a new one by November. Okay, so moving on, what we're going to do is take out a piece of paper, and I just am going to give you guys like 2 minutes, and I want you to write down 10 things or however many things you can in 2 minutes about yourself, that anything except Beachbody Coach. So like anything you can think of, mom, whatever. I'm not going to, you think of all the things that you are that make you you, and write them down in 2 minutes. So you go ahead, get started. Okay, so time's up. So today we're going to talk about like finding your niche and finding where you belong in Beachbody and as a Beachbody coach. If any of you guys listened to the National Wake Up Call from Monday, Tara Carr, if not, take 20 minutes to listen to it because it's a really, really great story. She is a military wife and mom. Her husband was deployed, and she built her business from Okinawa, Japan. She started off talking about, so a lot of people, when you start coaching, you kind of start following all these other coach pages and you start seeing what they're posting. You're like, oh my God, they're so super successful. This is what they're doing. These are the pictures they're taking. And you kind of start to question yourself, but then you also start to do things that they're doing. And that's what she did. Like she used to never wear makeup and be out looking like me, probably a mess. And then all of a sudden she sees all these coaches with fake eyelashes and she started acting like them. Well, then she started bringing in people like them. And she couldn't relate to any of her new coaches. She couldn't relate to these people she was attracting in her challenge groups. And she was failing. She started to kind of lose her momentum or lose what she was building. So why I made you make that list is because these are what make you you, and this is what people want when they're looking for, at your post. We're looking for like-minded people. So you are looking for somebody that's going to relate to you, because that is the way your team is going to build and grow and continue to grow, when you find like-minded people. So when you look at this list, those are the people you're talking to. Those are the people you're reaching out to. So does it mean that you maybe plan like your posts based around what time those people are on the internet? Probably. Like moms like me, so I try to plan my posts for like after bedtime or nap time, things that I know people like me are probably more able to see those kind of posts. You want to use your wording based on that, like share some of these things of who you are, but throw those in. Like busy mom, I have a busy PTA day, but this is what I'm doing, today, whatever it is. So people be like, oh, she's a PTO mom like me. Or so you want to use these to kind of find your niche, find those people that are going to say, hey, I like her. I want to follow her. I want to do what she's doing and be like her, or be a part of this thing. I think that I think a lot of times I would compare myself. There was another preschool mom at my last school, and she is a very, very successful Beachbody coach. And she was Mrs. Virginia. Now she's Mrs. Virginia, and she's sweet and great and beautiful, but I do not relate to her at all. And I found that I kind of was trying to post like her and be like her at some point. And then I started being like, okay, this is not, I just sometimes have to, you just have to catch yourself sometimes, because you might find yourself comparing yourself to other coaches. I heard another webinar or something I was listening to where they recommend their coaches at first to follow all these coaches, but then 2 or 3 weeks after that, stop following them, unfollow them all, because at that point you've gotten some ideas, you kind of see what different coaches are like, but you then don't need to see what they're doing, because then you just start to compare yourself. Well, why is she so much more successful than me, and that kind of stuff. And we don't want to do that, because you are who you are. And we want people to follow you because of who you are. So use that list. Sometimes I have my list, and I have my list on my whiteboard sometimes, just because when I'm looking for wording for posts, I'm looking for, outgoing, busy moms, whatever. I can use that list in my adjectives of my posts. So use that post, use it. The other list that I have created in the past is a list of what Beachbody has done for me. That's my other list that I work off of. So I kind of have two things that I focus on when I want to create my posts and who I'm talking to. So that's another thing. Maybe down the road you can take some time, even if it's something as small as, it's made me meet new friends so far, or it doesn't have to be financial. But those are the things that you're going to find your niche. People, like I always say, can go on beachbody.com and order Shakeology, and they can order 21 Day Fix. But they're buying these from you, because you're their coach, and they are looking to you for your help, but they're also looking to you to be relatable and just feel that comfort level from them. So, or from you. So, Rachel, was there anything else that you took away from that call that you can think of?
One of the things that she talked about was just the prospering where you're planted, which is a huge military thing. That's something I've heard of lots, just because we move around so much.
Yeah.
And that can be a challenging one. So I thought that was really cool that she brought that into the call, just because it's true. You never know in a business when you're starting out, you don't know as many people or whatever, and you just got to take it and run with it. So.
Right. Yeah. And that's kind of where, she just wasn't going to take no, you just aren't going to take no for an answer. If they're going to say no, that's fine, but I'm still going to talk to 20 other people, and they may say yes. And so, like you said, prosper where you're planted and that was her theme of her whole call. And like I said, if you have 20 minutes, it's a really great motivational, inspirational call. It's just, it's finding these like-minded people to push through and find them, because they're out there. There are people out there that are waiting for you, and that's the reality. We just have to keep looking for them and keep reaching out to find friends of friends. And one last thing about that list, if you have any kind of hobbies on there, or that's another place to look for people. So there are Facebook groups, there are Pinterest groups, there's all these people that have these interests. So if you are in a Facebook group that crafting, whatever, totally not Beachbody relatable. You don't have to, you're not going to necessarily have to advertise Beachbody, but like start personal, like, oh, respond to somebody's post and have a one-on-one conversation about their post, like about crafts, but then send them a friend request. Because then you're also keeping your craft stuff like conversation and forming and relating to them, but you're also, they can watch you and see if potentially they could be of interest, you know, of something later down the road. So those are ways, like call it whatever. Like I know Shalise is, you know, a Huskers fan. She's in like Husker groups, and like sometimes she'll post like pictures of herself in her Husker wear, and she'll post it in the group, but it's like, oh, I just finished my workout, look at me in my wear, you know. So there's different ways instead of just posting an advertisement in these groups, even in mom groups or whatever, like military groups, whatever. Just, you know, when you see somebody relatable, comment to their post, you know, and have that conversation with them, because they could be a potential friend, a potential customer, a potential coach, whatever, you know, it may be. So that's another good use of that list for sure. When you're running out of people, to start looking for groups, or like I said, if you're on Pinterest, it's another place that maybe you could start. I use Pinterest for personal, but I have not delved too far into it with business, but I know that the opportunity is there. Actually, Chalene Johnson, if you listen to some of her podcasts, I think she has one or two that she has some special guests that actually come in and talk about Pinterest and ways that they've been successful using it. So do you guys have any questions about anything you have going on, or anything I talked about today, or anything coming up? Anybody? No? Okay. Well, based on the call, there is one thing that she did say, and she was like, you got to write this down. And I wrote it down, and I think it's a really great way to end the call. It's because I try to end with a quote. So this is really, I liked it a lot. So work for a cause, not for applause. Live to express, not to impress. Don't strive to make your presence seen, make your absence felt. So basically everything we've just said, be you. I mean, that's what people want. Be you, and don't try and impress people, because people are going to, you know, follow you, and they're going to listen to you, and they're going to be inspired by you, and that's what we want them to do. So if you guys don't have any questions, or don't have, oh, Stephanie, we talked about something. What did I tell you we would talk about today? I forgot. I know I said I'd talk about something on the call.
That's a good question.
I'm looking at it now. Oh, about having a Facebook page.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I have a couple people that have asked me that. That's why I'm going to talk about it. So if you decide you want to have a business page on Facebook, it's free. It's totally up to you. I had one I started one when I first started, and now I hate the name of it. It just was so not like catchy, and I just decided that's not what I want to do. And I wanted to incorporate my name with a future website and a future blog, and have all of this incorporated. So I'm like closing out my old one and going to have opened up a new one, but haven't started posting in it. It is a great way to add new people. It is also really good because Facebook moves so quickly in your own personal page, but when somebody likes your page in a business page, they're more likely to see those posts. So even if you're duplicating the posts in terms of, you know, your advertisement in both those places, they may be more likely to see it in your business page than they may see it in your personal page. That is probably, from what I've noticed so far, one of the biggest benefits to it. And really, I mean, if you can get it, like, if you use your niche and find a name and a way to like reach out to people beyond Beachbody. And that's kind of why I changed mine and changed the name, and because I wanted something now that I could do. So I did Fit and Fresh Mama, and that's my like web page, going to be a blog one day, going to be my like page, because I want it to be more than Beachbody. I want it to be healthy recipes that I make for my family, finds that maybe I find, for example, like Trader Joe's, things like that I can share with people. So that's what I'm using as my niche in terms of that. So, you know, it could be anything, busy fit mom. I mean, you have to obviously look for one that's not used already, but I'll still put Beachbody posts in there and advertise my, you know, self in that way. But it won't be like, I wanted to change it up in terms of using my niche. So, yeah, I mean, it's in terms of it being time consuming, it's really easy to set up. Excuse me. It does not take long to set up at all. And, you know, posting to it, especially if you use Hootsuite, you can kind of post at the same time, your own personal and Hootsuite page. They're pretty easy. Also, you can post to that one and then share to your personal page. So then people might be more likely to like your business page as well. So, you know, if you feel like it's something you're ready for, then go for it. And if you have questions setting it up, I'm happy to help you. But it doesn't hurt, I guess, could be pretty much the answer too. So anything else? Do you guys have questions about that or anything you can think of? All right. All right. Silence. It's crickets. All right. So I hope you guys are having a great week, and I hope you have a good weekend. And I hope that we can keep the daytime calls if you guys are happy with that. I plan to keep them during the day. And then as we add new coaches, if anybody prefers a nighttime call, I'll eventually do another nighttime call too. I might give it a few weeks and see who I would have interested in a nighttime call. So if you add coaches that would be, just let me know. So that way we can kind of add them to the list. All right. Well, then if you need anything, let me know. And if not, have a great weekend. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you for getting on.
Bye.